Hi everybody, it's Russ from My Hammers 11. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking on the bell icon so you can be aware of any time we put new videos up. We've got loads of great guests coming up, including today's guest. You probably won't recognise his face, sorry Simon, but you would definitely hear him if you go to the London Stadium. He bangs out the tunes outside the ground as you're coming in, part of the LAHAD crew. It's Simon Green. Hi Simon, how are you?
Hi Russ, thanks for asking me. It's such an honour. DJ brother.
Indeed. Me and Simon go well back. Let's just say that. Many years. Many years. We've old ground and new ground.
I have so much respect for you.
Thank you, and you too, Simon. And sure, what will be great. What's great about this video is you'll find out a lot more about Simon, which I guess that you don't know in terms of what he does outside of West Ham, and that will come through as we're chatting. But what we do with this side is we basically interview loads of people all over the world, lots of different ages, about their West Ham memories, particularly as we haven't got any football at the moment to make new memories, but hopefully it won't be too long, and understand a bit more about the players that meant a lot to them. So obviously, Si, you've been a West Ham fan for a long time. What would you say would be your sort of earliest memories of West Ham?
Well, okay, so my earliest memory was given to me by my mother because I can't really remember it myself. But after West Ham won the World Cup in 1966, apparently I picked up a ball. We used to live in Brixton, and I ran outside with the ball shouting Bobby Moore. So I think that's officially my first West Ham memory, although I can't quite remember it. I think my first real memory was knowing that my uncle and my grandfather were East London. I'm South London, I'm Black Lambeth. So anyway, my grandfather and my uncle live in Hackney. And going to visit them, because they're season ticket holders.
Yeah.
From about 66, I guess, to about 74. In fact, my uncle left during the debenture. Do you remember that in the 80s? Yeah, they all went to Millwall, right? Some of them did. And yeah, so it's like, because I'm from South London, really, on paper, I should probably support Chelsea.
Yeah.
Most of the people in Brixton do support Chelsea, and some Millwall. But I was like, I didn't want to decide. But the thing is, I thought West Ham were a bit whack. When you're about 10 or 11, I think I should support West Ham because of my granddad and my uncle.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're a bit whack. I'm not going to admit that in public. So I'm thinking about it and tossing it around, And then one day I watch a match of the day, and it's like West Ham playing Man United. And I think we won like 4-2 or something. And I'm like, yes. Now I'm a West Ham supporter.
That's it, yeah. Glory hunter.
I went official. I don't know. That was about 71.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And I used to go to, when I went to visit my grandfather, as a family, and it's Saturday, they're going to the game. So like, it'd be like, coming down the game, Simon. Yes, Dad. Go off holding his hand. Yeah. Stand on the terraces in the Bobby Moore, right behind the goal.
Great.
And that's my memories of West Ham.
Yeah.
Being asked by my uncle to run onto the pitch. I don't know if you remember this, Russ, but pre-match entertainment, used to get 2 or 3 nippers around 10 years old, 11, get pushed out by the crowd, run across the pitch, and now the object is you have to dive into the crowd, because if a Stewart gets you, you're going to get picked out, right? You dive into the crowd, and then the crowd hides you. You go under their legs and you make your way back to the Bobby Moore. I did it once.
What a different world.
Hair across the pitch.
Yeah.
Everyone's cheering.
God, Simon, a little Simon Green running across the bowling.
2 or 3 before the game. It's a bit of a tradition, I think.
Oh, bless. And obviously that being sort of your earliest memories, and obviously the glory hunter years, Simon, beating Man United, and obviously the World Cup. In terms of your sort of fondest memories, and that obviously doesn't necessarily include obviously matches. Obviously, you do a lot in the club and with the club now. What sort of fond memories stick in your mind as ones that you cherish quite dearly?
Well, I guess it's got to be the FA Cup. Arsenal, what a day. Yeah, what a day. I mean, it's a bit of a derby anyway, and we're aware of that. But I didn't expect to win. I don't know if West Ham's, I think we had a chance, but what a day.
Yeah.
So I was watching that on the TV. I didn't go to the game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And a brand new pair of Pumas. I can't remember the name. They were like white with like gold. My mum got me as a present because West Ham won.
Oh, lovely. In the rare chances that we do win, you got a free pair of trainers. Love it. That's brilliant. Oh, funny. All right. And obviously, obviously me and Simon have worked together on various things. Simon, in terms of, playoff finals, and remember you and me walking around Wembley Stadium with Bubbles the Bear and Herbie the Hammer.
That's okay.
That was a great
day. Right behind the goal, right?
Yeah, we're right behind the goal. We've got a great picture. I've got it, and I'll put it up on the video. Great picture taken by the Bubbles man, I believe, just after we'd won. So we'll put that up. It'd be a great one to show.
That's the best tour manager's job I've ever had, looking after Bubbles.
Yeah.
Hammerhead. Such a day, because all the fans were so happy to see him.
Yeah.
Literally dropped them into the dressing room just before kickoff. We got them undressed, went behind the goal.
I know it was crazy. So it was one of those days, and my daughter was due that day famously, so I was like had my phone on loud in my hand like the whole time, as well as trying to watch the match as well. But
get a signal at Wembley.
Yeah, I got a signal. I got a call. I think it was literally like 3:00. Like literally as it kicked off, I got a call, and I thought it was my wife, but it wasn't. It was like a PPI call. Like the timing was like brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, she turned up about 3 or 4 days later, so it wasn't too late. So she was a couple of days late. But anyway, talk about babies and stuff. Let's talk about your 11, Si. So obviously, 11. Your 11. It can be, whoever you want to chat about in terms of players, but it's your 11, and that's what's important. So, do you want to introduce your theme, right, Si, in terms of what you want to do?
Right, I've called it the Lambeth Empathy 11.
Yeah.
Because really, I want to talk about players that I feel that I've got an emotional engagement with. It's a deeper thing than being a great player. Some players have done great things without being great players.
Agreed.
And the other way around. So for me, I've tried to pick out the people that just struck with me at the time.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Might not be the players, but...
And that's what it is. It doesn't have to be the best players. So, as I said, it's the players that meant something to you. And as you said, it doesn't have to be the best technical players. It's the ones that you have an affiliation with. I mean, some people later on in the channel are doing the 11 players that they shouted at most on the terraces and stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter. So, right, okay. So let's go between the sticks for the Lambeth Empathy 11. Who we got in goal, Si?
Okay, so the goalie is going to be Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore. Okay, yeah.
Everybody at West Ham so proud. And as I said, my early memory was trying to be Bobby Moore when I was like 7 years old. But, for West Ham to produce a player of that quality, a player who, at the time, Pele said he was the greatest defender in the world. This is special. So Bobby Moore was special to West Ham, but he was special to the world. So the reason I put him in goal is because nothing gets past Bobby Moore. So
it's great. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It makes perfect sense. Right, so we'll put Moore in goal, and obviously, you've obviously, for those who don't know, Simon was involved with a lot of the when we did the Moore tribute stuff in terms of setting out all the seats and all the papers and stuff. Simon helps out that quite a lot. So I've got some great pictures that you took of that. Yeah. So. Right, so we put Moore in goal then. Who are we going to have? We'll do a 4-4-2 just to fit everyone in. Squeeze them all in. Okay, let's go left back then. Who are we going to have at left back then, Si?
We ain't going to do 4-4-2.
Okay, whatever.
We're going to do two centre backs.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so centre back, Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah.
As Tony Carr was asked the question, how comes the academy produced so many great players? And he's like, all you got to do is get down to Hackney Marshes.
Mm.
And it's like Rio Ferdinand come from that kind of environment. And he was a great player at West Ham when he come through as a youth player, you know, on fire.
Mm.
I think he tells that story where he messed up his first goal. He used it into a crowd or something, one of his first kicks. But, you know, obviously he's a young talent at the time. It's like, wow, we're producing here. And I think it was like 2 years later or so, he went to Leeds and he ends up at Man United. And what a career. You know, for me, one of the best England fullbacks. You know, he had that partnership with John Terry that never really seemed to work for me. But I think Rio Ferdinand is a great player, very skillful, very intelligent, and all of that. And the way he conducts himself off the pitch, you know, the way he represents himself and his team, and his clarity and his bravery when he speaks. And recently his tragedy with his personal life and stuff, he's just an exceptional football character. You know, came from the West Ham Academy. It's like, wow.
Still West Ham, and he doesn't matter. Yeah, so, and that's what I was saying to someone the other day. They're talking about all the people, the academies who have let, you know, the players, but even when Rio's on telly, you still think, oh, he's still West Ham, isn't he? He's still us. And so I still have this sort of an affiliation with him as a player. Who's going to partner then in this strange formation then, Si?
Right, the other centre back's got to be Ray Stewart for me. A great signing, I think, from Dundee. So it's like my mate Charlie is the DJ at Dundee, same as you are at West Ham. So there's a personal affiliation.
Yeah.
But the thing about Ray Stewart was his commitment as a club player and a team player, and his bottle, and of course his penalties. I mean, maybe one of the finest penalty takers of all time, but it's like, I think he didn't miss a penalty for something like 42 kicks or something. He used to do that thing that I tried to do if I ever got a chance to take a penalty. It's like, you just whack it as hard as you can, roughly to the middle. And even if the keeper gets down to it, his hand's going to go like that. Yeah. You know, if you hit it hard enough, going in, that was him.
Yeah.
Did it every time kind of thing. It's just textbook. And you just like, when you walk up, you get that feeling he ain't going to miss.
Yeah.
I mean, what sort of player we got today that you get that feeling?
Well, I think Mark Noble. I think, you know, he's dependable, isn't he? But you don't think he's going to miss. You're always more, you know, and I think, you know, but I just think it's the way people take penalties now. There's a lot more ambiguity, it seems, you know, because people like, you got obviously the more foreign-based players, they like to curl it or flick it or rebone or do something stupid with it. Whereas, you know, put it down, just thump it. Like Julian did as well, and you know, and Ray Stewart did. You know, I think it's it's a lost art, that sort of just hitting the ball as hard as you can.
That's the job of work. I'm going to score, and he score.
Exactly, and you just knew,
does it every time.
No, exactly. Right, okay. That's so. Those you centre backs. Who are we going to go with now? So I'll leave it to you. Go on.
Just looking it up. Right, I've got three in the middle. Like, this is an attacking side.
Love it.
Left half.
Yep.
Pablo Zabaleta.
Zab.
You know, still, you know, I ended up playing right back. I was a fast winger in my youth. And then I sort of you do that drop into midfield thing.
Yeah.
Then I eventually end up as a wing back. And it's like, Zabaleta's got a very similar style to the way I used to play. It's like going forward and crossing and, you know, being part of the midfield, one-to-one kind of thing. It's kind of, you know, obviously he's getting a bit old now, but, you know, his head and his skill, he's just world class. And when he was younger, he's one of my favourite, you know, maybe one of my favourite right backs of all time. But it's like, I just feel that he's a valuable part of the team in terms of intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, despite his age.
Yeah. And no, I agree totally with and his experience as well on the team, particularly younger players.
You can tell he's something in a dressing room. He means that he's going to lift the youngsters, and you know, he's got a club role. He's like a club player. And probably what happened to him and what happened to me. You know, when I retired, I was about 34. I was playing in quite a senior county league, but it's just that thing about once the 19-year-olds got past you, you ain't really got nothing left. And it's a bit, I think, Zab's kind of in that position. But
yeah,
he's so intelligent that you try not to get in that position. But
Yeah.
if you go forward, it's almost inevitable.
Mm.
You need that support from the centre backs and stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, Zab's in. Okay. Next one, Si.
Right, centre half is Billy Bonds.
Yeah.
Billy Bonds, of course, legend. And who's not really going to have him in their team? I mean, what can you say about Billy Bonds? He's up there with, one of the most loyal. Picked up the FA Cup twice, right?
Yeah.
One of the most loyal club players and job of work. A lot of these players that I'm selecting, they're there to go to work.
Mm.
I think Billy Bonds was a fine example, an exceptional example of a steady, strong, brave club player.
No, I agree. Yeah. And the when obviously we got the stand named after him, you could see how much that meant to him as the whole sort of event. A man who doesn't show any emotion was absolutely crying his eyes out, and I think there's about 60,000 blokes in the stadium who were like, "Oh yeah, I've got something in my eye as well." Yeah, because it was a really emotional moment to see that.
It's like we love him at West Ham.
Mm.
So we just love him at West Ham.
No,
like you say, he's so humble. What a player, a fantastic professional, fantastic example.
Exactly. I think he retired around early 40s, wasn't it, when he actually retired, I believe?
He got dragged back a couple of times out of like semi-retirement or something.
I have no idea, quite possibly. I mean, he was still the fittest man, and when he came on the pitch and did the thing, he still looked like he was fitter than most people. He still obviously looked in incredible shape for a man his age. But
40. I never thought of that. I didn't think it was that old.
Yeah, I think it's full. I think it was 40 or 41, I believe. Someone will definitely correct me if I'm wrong, as I well know these things. Right, okay. Who's next? We got Bonzo. Who's next then, Russ? Sorry, mate. Who we got?
A similar thing, but a contemporary player, Mark Noble.
Yeah.
Right half. Again, an exceptional player. I've had the pleasure to talk to him a few times, through our roles.
Mm.
But, what a workhorse, how committed, inspirational, and a fantastic long career. And again, of course, an East End boy. We're going to love him.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
I rate him as a player.
No, I do as well. I think he's a great. I think the last couple of years he's had a renaissance as a player.
Yeah. It's almost like, I don't know, maybe backstage he was giving that thing that, Mark, you're getting a bit slow, bruv. But if you can turn up the training a bit, you got a chance.
Mm.
And he seemed to go to another level.
Yeah.
So that, I think that shows his hard work in training and his commitment.
Yeah.
He's trying to long out his career, quite rightly.
Yeah.
But with a new vigor, I think he was fading a bit.
And I wonder whether, just thinking about it now, whether it's the emergence of Declan Rice in the team, whether it's a coincidence, because someone mentioned Scott Parker before, and how almost like Scott Parker was almost like coaching Mark Noble now it's like Mark Noble is now coaching Declan Rice. And I think it might be just because he doesn't have to do that defensive job anymore. That's sort of Dec's job. But yeah.
So it means he hasn't got to be too concerned about getting back. Like sometimes you play a bit deep for me, if I'm honest. But what a player! What can you say? Again, his work rate at his age, just phenomenal.
Yeah, Mr. West Ham, and he's Mr. Modern West Ham, to be honest. And whatever happens, I mean, I saw an interview he did. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and he basically says, "When I retire, I want to be manager or director of football at West Ham," or I can just see him fitting into that role quite nicely. Okay, right. Nobes is in. Who's next then, Si?
Right, so we've got 5 up front.
Love it. Gianfranco Zola style. I like it.
Right wing. Let's go right wing. Tevez.
Yeah.
Carlos Tevez. What a player. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, when I heard all the rumours that he was coming, you know, it was a bit dark. I think most West Ham fans are scared to death of the dogfight. I am.
Yeah.
For me, a good season is staying out of dogfight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like we looked like we were going down. Tevez turns up, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah. It was so left field, wasn't it? It just out of nowhere. This was.
And then you hear the rumours about the rule breaking and the financing of the signing and all this kind of stuff. I think that concluded in a court case, didn't it? That West Ham.
Several court cases. I think there were several litigations.
They win the finance one. They had permission to sign him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the main one.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield Wednesday?
Sheffield United, and so much so that when I remember Neil Warnock coming to West Ham when he up to London Stadium when he was Cardiff manager, and obviously he was manager of Sheffield United at the time, and they were all chanting, "There's only one Carlos Tevez." So they still have this sort of this fascination. But he was brilliant, wasn't he? When Curbs got in the right frame of mind.
Fans, it's kind of like we're fading again. It felt like we're going into that. And he just electrified the fans. And he had a stormy start, and I think he played 6 or 7 games. They weren't like consistently great, right?
No.
But you always felt when he had the ball, something's going to happen. We're charging forward like balls.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
No one can stop him. So it's like a bit like that Man United midfield, scares you to death. But it's like he always threatened the goal. So what a hero.
Yeah.
Brave as well. Great player. Can you believe he played for West Ham?
No. You can't. No. Particularly the career he's had since. Obviously, he's won league championship. He obviously played for United, played for City, as he's over in Argentina, Boca and stuff. And he's
really after West Ham or something. No, that never happened.
No, he went. Yeah, I think he went to United then City, didn't he? And then he went to Boca or Corinthians or played for both, or I'm not too sure. Right, okay, we'll put Carlos in. Who else? Who's next?
Forward, Carlton Cole. Inside forward.
Yeah.
Right. So, Carlton, what can you say? Another fan's favourite, a personal favourite of mine.
Yeah.
Who's now an ambassador of the club, and a great contributor. He come to me 3 times so far at different shows when I've been DJing. He just come, hey, sign tunes.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
So what a player.
Yeah.
It felt like, I don't know, he got an injury against Wigan. I was at the game. It was at Upton Park. I remember he went down. It looked a bit, and he kind of got up slow, got assistance, limped off, and he went into a 3-month injury. At that time, I can't remember what year it was, Ross, 2007 or something like that.
Yeah.
For me, maybe I'm being romantic, but it felt like he was pushing into England squad. Yeah,
I mean, he had an England cap, didn't he? He got, he got, I think that was under his West Ham at times. So yeah,
like a semi-regular shirt. This is a player that improved himself. He was improving all the time, and every month, from month to month, you could see his focus on his training. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit romantic about it, but it just felt to me that he was getting near that England squad regular.
Yeah.
He may go on to be one of the greatest strikers in the league, Yeah. And then he had the injury, and I don't know, maybe he would tell a different story. I've never spoke to him about this. I don't know. But it felt to me that he didn't fully recover his confidence after. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah. But
having a serious knee injury, I know why, because it's not an easy thing to come back.
No, you've always worrying about going again, innit? And it's like, it's like some players, like obviously Michael Owen, and, obviously he was electric, and then he did his hamstring, and he relied on pace so much that he was never the same player afterwards. And I think that's the same with Carlton. But as you said, the amount of effort, he's a club man. He works at the academies and stuff. He comes down to the women's matches lots when you're doing the DJ and the fun days. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. He's Carlton.
And you know, with enthusiasm, there's a genuine love of the club. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, he's like, that's, you know, having met him backstage, it's like,
Yeah.
it's genuine enthusiasm for the club. It's like, we love him, he love us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a
It's
two-way thing.
it's a simple transaction, isn't it? To be honest.
And
Right.
great
Okay.
club. I'm not disrespecting his football skill, by the way, because like he's still a great player.
Yeah, he scored some great goals for us. He was one of the. I think Charlie Walsh said something. He did some stats, and he was like one of the. He's the last striker who'd scored 10 goals for us, league goals in 2 or 3 seasons in a row, or something like that. He was still banging them in consistently when he played, as you said. Right. Okay. So put Carlton in. Who's next, Si?
Right, centre forward, Clyde Best.
Yeah.
You know, legendary player. Like, I watched him on Match of the Day, and I see him at Upton Park with my granddad. But phenomenal kind of contribution against the backdrop of obviously the racism in society at that time. I believe one of the first big, you know, sort of black players in the league.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably this first centre forward, first black forward. But the racist abuse he used to get, you know, wherever he went, you know, that's back in the day of bananas being, obviously, they make that shit up because, like, no one knew what to do about a black player. So he was like the first victim of some serious racism. But what a player, what a contribution. I loved his style, you know, that kind of strong centre forward that kind of hold the ball up or knock it on. That's why I've got inside forwards.
Yeah, I can see. So it's all part of the plan, so I can see that.
He's going to be the one that's knocking it on.
Yeah.
And then taking it sometimes. He's going to appear in the box and get a shot in. You know, he's like a forward, midfield, centre forward kind of thing.
Yeah. He I mean, I know I've never seen him play, but I saw pictures and I've seen video, and he was like a ball, wasn't he? He was like so strong, such a strong player.
It's like everyone bouncing off him.
Yeah.
You know, just stand.
Best type of centre forward that is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Those centre forwards are exciting because
it's when they command like more than one defender. That's when, you know, you've got good them. Andy Carroll used to always do that. He used to have 2. You know, in the modern day, everyone would double up on him, so there's always a spare defense.
Yeah. And remarkable skill. You know, I just thought Andy Carroll got close to my team. To be honest, I rate him. I'm sorry, but I rate him.
Yeah.
And yeah, what a player he was.
Right.
Okay, Clyde Best. I mean, the other thing about Clyde Best, because this is what we experienced at West Ham.
Yeah.
This was recognised by the black community, of course. You know, young players like Rio Ferdinand, Ian Wright, and stuff like that, seeing a role model.
Yeah.
And often when I'm about in my other work, you know, in music, or, you know, I work a lot with the Beam community and stuff. And if I'm wearing my West Ham football shirt, which I often do, represent. But people come up to me and say, "Hey, mate, Clyde Best changed my life."
Yeah.
He's like one of the first premier kind of black figures that I had to respect. You know, whether they live in Arsenal or Newcastle.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
And I often get that kind of thing. He's like got a memory to the black community because he's like, "Oh, that's our boy," and he's like, "Let's go. We can get there ourselves," kind of thing.
No, it makes perfect sense. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, Simon does a lot in the music industry, and his Facebook post, doesn't matter where he is at a concert, he might be at Wu-Tang Clan or whatever, he always has his West Ham top on. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Representing wherever he is. Right, okay. Who's
Clyde Best, if you go and visit him, knock on the door, give you a cup of tea and a chat about West Ham.
Well, there you go.
Where is it from? He's in the beyond somewhere.
Bermuda is Carol. He's Bermuda.
So if you track him down and go and knock on his house, say hi.
Yeah.
Give you a tea and talk about West Ham.
Well, there you go. Right. Okay. Who's next then, Si?
Right, inside left forward.
Yep.
Jeff
Hursty. Yep.
And again, I've got reasons for that because I do believe West Ham won the World Cup. But the magical thing at that time, I mean, I was far too young, but the West Ham fans knew that they had a talent in the side. It's like he deserved his place in the squad, but he probably didn't deserve to play. It was really close. You know,
Yeah.
there's legendary stories about all that stuff. And the way that the manager had the confidence to stick with him, because there's that thing about Jimmy Greaves, right?
Yeah.
And there's the whole world expecting Jimmy Greaves to play the final. And our boy go on. You know,
Exactly.
or a hat trick. I think still the only hat trick in World Cup history, right? In the
Yep.
final.
Yep, still is. And yeah, you know, it was almost one of those sliding doors moments, wasn't it? You know, which just made it made his career and you know, Sir Geoff Hurst, you know, the last sort of, you know, 40 years, whatever it's 66, so yeah, almost 50 years, yeah, whatever. It made him.
And another great workman, you know, a very professional club player,
Yeah.
you know, plied his trade, as they say, but he did it consistently, you know, skillfully, intelligently. I believe he had the opportunity to be a cricketer or something. He's a young sportsman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and again, provides one of the greatest discussion points, you know.
Yeah, people still talk about it. Yeah.
Don't talk to me about VAR.
No.
But we should talk about that goal.
Yeah.
It was in, by the way.
It was in, yeah, no, we know. All right, and who's going to complete the Lambeth Empathy 11 then, Si?
Well, another personal favourite, Alan Devonshire.
Dev.
You know, one of my, if I look back on that kind of this 11, this player stick out to me as the one that I followed his career. I was excited by him. You know, that kind of dreamy midfielder that had skill, pace, intelligence, could read the game. Sometimes the midfield couldn't keep up with him. You know, like it's you know, his start in his career, he played for some small team in South London League or something.
Yep.
He passed his signing date, suddenly gets a contract at West Ham, but he couldn't believe his luck. He was a plumber, right?
Yeah, and we bought him for £5,000, if I remember correctly.
The legend that he used to go to the game on the bus and the tube with his boots on in his bag, kind of thing. You know, I just think, and the World Cup, right? Let's talk about that. Who was it? Glenn Hoddle. It's like Glenn Hoddle kept him out of that team. Yeah. In my view, I was gutted he didn't go. I couldn't flip and believe it. But without Glenn Hoddle, he would have been regular in that side.
Yeah.
In my view. So it's like Glenn Hoddle kept him out of the England team. And I was crushed. I can't remember what year it was. It's like 86.
Well, there's a few like that. As Dev, obviously Billy Bonds. Yeah. You know, and it's like what you know, particularly, you know, you look at people like Emily Hughes getting like 60 odd caps, and you're thinking, yeah, I should have been. A lot of them could have been Bonds. Particularly as Greenwood was manager and stuff of England at the time. But yeah, no, Dev, great shout.
And a great like working class boy. You know, talking about that, I know he used to like the GGs and like he ended up training greyhounds and stuff. Yeah. He just had a laugh. I recently, like one of the photos in that last game of bowling series.
Yeah.
There's a black cab on the pitch. Dev in there.
Yeah.
Dev's in that taxi because he wouldn't get out because they're in the VIP, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he went round the pitch in a taxi, but I know he was in that taxi. That's why you got the photo.
Oh, how funny. How funny.
He come to I was doing a DJ set for West Ham when he did a shirt signing.
Yeah.
Recently, you know, I don't know, 4 months ago. I couldn't believe I was in the same room for it with him. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So he come in and he sit down, start signing shirts and stuff. I see him nodding his head occasionally. He's like, I don't know, 40 meters away from me. I play for 2 hours. He's signing for 2 hours. At the end of it, he come over. I'm going, mate, I said, I can't believe you come over. He's like, I had to come and say thanks. I'm like, what? So tunes. That's my era. I was playing like R&B and like disco and stuff.
Yeah.
So that kept me going. He said, that was awesome. So Alan Devonshire telling me how good my tunes were.
Wow.
I was trying to tell him how good. I told him that story about Hoddle.
Yeah.
I said, the thing is, you were better than Hoddle. He's like, I wouldn't say that. It was really modest about it. I said, no, you had a final ball.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You get that with Dev. Yeah. You get that with Dev, don't you? He's such a modest player, and everyone he plays with speaks so highly of him, and that's always my yardstick of who was a good player. If the players respected him as well, and everyone who talks, when they do the pitch, get the players on half time and stuff, and they talk about, it's 86 boys or whatever. Dev's always the one they're talking about, and that shows that the sort of the.
I wanted to be him. We're a similar age, in fact. He's a few years older than me, but it's like when I was playing, he was playing when I was playing, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to be him.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be him.
Well, that concludes your very attacking Lambeth Empathy 11. So we've got Moro in goal, then we've got Rio, Ray Stewart, Zab, Billy Bonds, Nobes, Tevez, Colton Cole. We got Clive Best, we got Jeff Hurst, and Dev finally. It'd be entertaining, wouldn't it?
It's exciting, isn't it? It's going forward, team.
It would be first on Match of the Day every week. Otherwise, we won 5-0 or lost 5-0. But hey,
I'd love to see that team play.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's been absolutely brilliant. I had a great time chatting to you, and thank you to obviously you spending the time. There's a lot of thought gone into that, I can tell. I know you've been racking your brains and trying to condense your list down to your final 11.
And yours, mate.
I know, yeah, I know. And obviously, thank you to everyone else for watching. Obviously, you know what to do: like, share, subscribe, watch them all. And until next time, guys, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.
Peace.